The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, make sure y'all smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to these parts on YouTube. Wanted to talk about our main man, Conor Benn, yesterday because I think it's very fair to say that he might have had the best performance of the day yesterday. You know, he had a step-up fight with Samuel Vargas. A lot of people going into that fight were saying that it's a pick-up fight. You know, I was live for that fight. A lot of people that were on my live were saying that Samuel Vargas might even beat Conor Benn because Samuel Vargas has fought at that world-class level. He's gone around with Danny Garcia and Virgil Ortiz and Errol Spence, and Conor Benn had never fought at that level. So it was definitely an intriguing fight going in. And I think we saw the emergence, you know, whether people want to believe it or not, I think we saw the emergence of a potential new young player at 147. When we talk about that next generation of welterweight fighters, you know, oftentimes we hear names like Jaron Ennis mentioned, Virgil Ortiz mentioned, Shakram Giyasov mentioned for the future. But make no mistakes about it, you know, I think Conor Benn, with the way he's developing, at the pace he's developing, you got to include that name in there because, you know, it's one thing to beat a Sebastian Formella, but it's another thing to stop a Samuel Vargas in a round. You can say what you want about Samuel Vargas and his lack of quality wins and losing to all these guys, but again, Virgil Ortiz had just fought Samuel Vargas and he was going 7 rounds with him, and that was one of the better versions of Samuel Vargas I'd ever seen in my life. So I think Conor Benn has to be taken more serious. I know a lot of times as American fans, we don't take these Brits seriously because oftentimes they're going to leave the UK and they're going to come here and get beat up by some American. But listen, Conor Benn, he has things that I think he, and this is only my opinion and my perspective, so don't hate on me, don't shoot the messenger. But I think Conor Benn has qualities and intangibles you can't teach fighters. You can't teach a fighter to believe in themselves. You can't teach a fighter to fight with a certain amount of intensity. You can't teach those things, and he has both those things. Now it's about can he continue to develop and get the skills to go with it. And honestly, let's take some time to appreciate the growth of Conor Benn. You know, I remember very clearly when I watched him after the first Cedric Pinoy fight, when a lot of people thought he lost. The word hype job and the term hype job was being slapped right upon his name. They said he wasn't going to amount to anything in boxing. And a lot of doubt was cast upon the career of Conor Benn. But now, from that fight to now, he's stopping your Samuel Vargas in a round, which is a big accomplishment because if you want some context, if you want some perspective, Danny Garcia didn't stop Samuel Vargas in a round. I think he went like 4 rounds with him. Errol Spence went 7 with him. Virgil Ortiz, the great Virgil Ortiz, who's knocking everybody out, went 7 with him. So we talk about making statements in boxing. That term in boxing is thrown around so much. Oh, this guy has to make a statement. That guy has to make a statement. This guy made a statement, and I think he's someone. I don't think he's ready for the Virgil Ortizes or Jaron Ennis's because he didn't have those guys' amateur background, and he don't have those guys' kind of talent. So obviously the growth and the development is going to be a little bit more. It's going to take him some more time, but he's 24 years old. He's got that time. There's good fights out there for him in Europe and domestically in the UK. You know, yesterday the name that he was calling out, funny enough, was Amir Khan, and he somehow managed to call out Amir Khan with a straight face because he understands that, listen, boxing's a business. You know, boxing's a business. Amir Khan's still a big name in the UK, and a fight with Conor Benn and Amir Khan would be great. You know, I think Conor Benn will blast Amir Khan out of there. I think Conor Benn will beat the shit out of Amir Khan. Amir Khan ain't been in the ring in a long time. He was chinny in his prime. He's definitely chinny now. And Conor Benn's out here throwing grown man punches. We're not getting no, you know, British amateur style where you pick your shots. No, he's throwing those grown man punches that we like to see. So I think that'd be a great fight business-wise for Conor. And Amir Khan is a former world champion, so it's a good little fight. But Amir Khan already came out and said that, you know, Conor Benn doesn't have a belt, so that fight doesn't make sense. So basically, Amir Khan, he's ducking Conor Benn. He don't want no smoke with Conor Benn. So make of that what you will. But, you know, you got Amir Khan. You have Kell Brook, who's still a name out there. Those 2 fights do good business for Conor domestically. From a boxing standpoint, I think David Avanesian would be a good fight for him. David Avanesian is coming off of a good performance against Josh Kelly where he knocked him out. and really derailed his career further. So that could be a good fight. I think realistically that should be his next fight, you know, because Avanesian's been at that world-class level. He's fought, you know, he fought the old Shane Mosley. He technically has a win over Shane Mosley, albeit it was the corpse of Shane Mosley. He fought Lamont Peterson, lost to him, and he beat Josh Kelly. So that's a good level for Conor Benn to try to conquer next. If not him, then, you know, you got Josh Kelly, who, you know, that at one point in time, before he got knocked out against Avanesian, that's really the fight Eddie Hearn wanted to put on. But if that fight were to happen now, based on both fighters' last performances, because, you know, fight fans, unfortunately, they always look at what the fighters did the last fight. You know, there's that old saying, you're only as good as your last fight. So Conor Benn and Josh Kelly, I mean, they're on opposite sides of the spectrum. Conor Benn just folded up Samuel Vargas like a cheap pair of jeans, and Josh Kelly suffered his first professional loss and got knocked out. So as big of a fight as that would have been at one point in time, I don't think it's the next fight right now to make. But, you know, when we talk about the next generation of welterweights, we talk about, you know, Jaron Ennis, we talk about Virgil Ortiz. I'm not saying that Conor Benn is as good as those guys or that you should put him in the same class as those guys, but I think you got to put his name in that group of the next generation of the guys that are going to be making up significant fights in the welterweight division. You have to. After a performance like that against Samuel Vargas, I mean, that's a common opponent. That is a common opponent with Virgil Ortiz. And he didn't take it no damn 7 rounds. He went in there and he blasted him out of there. No questions asked, nothing. So I'm hoping Eddie Hearn will step him up. I'm being realistic. I don't think he has to bring Conor Benn to America just yet and step him up with one of the American fighters. But, you know, domestically, I think Conor Benn can go and get like a fight or two more and then bring him to America, and then we'll see what he's made of. But, you know, overall, I got to put some respect on Conor Benn's name, man. He's doing his thing. He's flying the flag high for his father's name, for British boxing. And he has what Josh Kelly was supposed to be, because I remember at one point in time, Josh Kelly was supposed to be the heir apparent to the British welterweight throne. He's faded into obscurity. I'm not writing him off. I hope he can come back and make a great comeback, but it looks like Conor Benn is inching closer and closer towards taking that throne and going somewhere else with it. So you guys let me know what you think about Conor Benn, the state of his career. Who would you like to see him fight next, and why? And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just Kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.